Hello, I'm Anni. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how I prepare making one of the bigger watercolor paintings, and well, you can decide yourself if it's the right way. I try to share some of my tips and tricks. I didn't find that many videos about making a large scale watercolor painting, so I decided why not to share how I make it.
Okay, so let me tell you how I begin with the idea of a painting. So with oils, I can just, go on this journey without knowing where it will end. But with watercolors, you need a war plan. Watercolors are, you need to know what you want to achieve with the painting and how you want it to turn out before you start making it. Well, before you start painting it. So first off, you have to have the idea, the sketch, and then you have to have the plan in what order you're going to be doing things. You can't rush it. You can't add too dark areas too fast because you can't get them out of there anymore. So you have to, level it up, kind of. The way I design my paintings, it's never I don't have the full idea. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna make this. I do a sketch that I like and I want to implement that into a next painting. So I start to build around it, and usually all the other stuff is something that had been happening during that day or that week or anything that has piqued my interest in previous days. Then I just, stitch them together.
The paper is pretty tough. It likes to, bounce back. I suggest you have a room with lots of room in it. I don't have, so it's a bit of a struggle. I usually like to fold my paper at the place where I want to cut it from, because I personally prefer to tearing the paper rather than cutting. I think it looks nicer to have that teared finished on the paper's edge, but as you can see, it's not that simple in a small space with not enough. If I had a big table, this would be way more easier, but cutting is fine too. I hope I'm not cutting the rug. So next up, what I need to do is to decide between the hair. I think I'm going to keep the character pretty simple. With the clothing, it's not going to have very complicated clothing, because I'm one of those artists. I'm one of those artists who spend a lot of time building the body and making it really good looking, and then I don't want to put clothes on my character because I'm so proud of all the work that I did on the anatomy. If I could decide, all of my characters would be naked, but it doesn't always suit the painting. So next up, I should be figuring out how I'm going to transfer all of this into the watercolor painting, into the watercolor paper. How do I transfer the sketch? I'll figure it out. So after a lot of wrestling with the paper, I have decided on the size and I have cut it, and I also have my background over there that I'm going to be stapling the paper on, and I'm going to show you something really cool that I figured out. My key light under the paper so I can trace my sketch onto the watercolor paper. I also came up with an idea. If you don't have anything like this, you can definitely use a window if you have enough sunlight where you live. I don't. Well, I did for like 10 minutes, and then I realized that, yeah, I probably need to use the key light because the sun already set by the time that I was able to put the paper on the window. And also the window that I had was too small for the size of my paper. So if you have big windows and natural light, you don't need the light at all. You can see just as easily with the window. So now that I have my sketch translated on the watercolor paper and I have erased most of the, the pencil sketch, I have erased most of it away, so it's only like a very faded picture. Next up, I have to go and take it to the shower, get it all wet, like completely soak it up, and then I'm going to staple it on to the background that I'm going to be painting it on. First, I need to prep the area that I'm going to be... Stop the blinking! I'm going to be putting the watercolor paper on, so I'm going to be using the same paper that I used for the sketch. I'm just gonna lay some of it onto the floor, which is pretty convenient since it has like a sticky side here, so I can just tape it down very easily. That way the watercolor paper won't be facing straight down to the ground and possibly, like, you know, pick up something on it. It already has a stain from something. I don't know where it came from, and I'm so annoyed. And then I'm going to be using a stapler. This is my first time that I'm going to be stapling the paper, so I hope it will go well. So first we have to prepare the area, then go soak the paper, and we'll be back. Where is mine? This is so stressful. I hate this. Surprisingly, the stapling actually worked pretty well. It was a bit warpy while it was wet, as you can see, but I think it was pretty successful. I mean, you can still see it's a bit bubbly. I think the stretching of the paper worked pretty well. There is a couple problem points, mainly in the bottom, because I wasn't able to staple that, and I only used a regular masking tape because I didn't have the real gum tape that would like stick to the wet paper, so I just have to use that, and it's been like over a month, so it's already coming off, but we can work with that. I decided to add like a circle in the middle of the characters. I think my idea for the colors, or how I'm going to paint this, is going to be so that I'm going to have some kind of very powerful red background, and then the circle is either staying white or I'll make it gold. I probably need to make it golden because there's some pencil sketches and stuff like that on the white area, and I don't think I can get those out of there anymore, and I don't like the idea of using white paint because that's not very watercolory. Now all that is left is to actually start the painting. I have everything here ready, but this is going to be something for the next time. I'm not going to be able to finish this for this video, so I see you again in the next one. Bye bye!